So the journalists can go ahead and investigate whose interests are they representing. Are they contestants of elections? Are they part of a political party? Or they are a part of a cartel?
What do they want?
That were financed to disrupt the process. So they are known in terms of knowing them. But who is financing them is what we are talking about. And then it is our job, we and you, the journalists, to do the needful and ensure that we save the process.
Well, you know, for quite a long time, some of us that are major players and have been having very close relationship with INEC, we got to know through some sources. Ab initio, we thought it was a rumor that some forces are ganging up to ensure they disrupt the election by ensuring that Professor Mahmoud Yakubu is taken out. They are not comfortable with the beaver system being introduced, because what the beaver system did is that it has taken away those who masters stuffing ballot boxes, snatching of ballot boxes, rigging and thumbprinting the various residences or various locations across the length and breadth of Nigeria, and ensure that the election is being rigged. The current technology that is being used have taken away all those possibilities. First, if you are not being accredited either by fingerprint or visual capturing, there's no way you can be eligible to cast your votes. That takes away a lot of things, including incident forms. So those that are not used to participating in a full election, where voters, people who cast their votes matters and the votes are going to count, certainly are not comfortable with the process. So we have so much plots are ongoing. Ordinarily, we thought that it will end up as a rumor. But for the fact that some people have gone to court at different locations, trying to instigate or to suggest that Professor Mahmoud Yakubu is not somehow being honest or transparent with the process, or he's being corrupt, or he have acquired some illegal properties, and so on and so forth. Now, rationally, if you look at it, if you analyze it, the timing is wrong. If people in authority are aware there are such things, right from the time when he was in TEDFON and now that he's in INEC chairman for the second time, they ought not to have allowed him to come to this stage. The transformation of INEC is close to impossible. Those of us that are key players in an elections understand that if you tell somebody ordinarily, you work someone and told him that, look, the INEC of today is technologically driven, the innovation is very strong, is one of the most vibrant institutions that have been rejiggled into technologically compliance. From the comfort of your office, you transmit every document to INEC and you get acknowledgement through your own system. For instance, right now, all parties are uploading polling unit agents. I'm doing it at the comfort of my office, directly to INEC, and I get acknowledgement. And virtually every polling unit agent that will go to INEC have to pass through my decks. You know, the processes are very clean, very disciplined, very decisive. So was it at this point some people raising a point that they are not comfortable with the beaver system, or they are not comfortable with the one driving the system, the man behind the technologically advanced process of conducting free and fair election? And really, if the president really mean what he says, that one of the legacy he wants to leave behind is a legacy of free and fair election. And then you are having elements, perhaps, I'm not sure, within the system that form a cartel.
Within what system?
Within the system, I mean, the system means either within the parties or within the government, or the government is aware such thing is ongoing because something has been filed, went through the process of court, the judge dispelled it out. So it means that there's no way it can come to this extent that the security agencies that I know of this country that are extremely very intelligent, they are very collective in their intelligence gathering system, they are very apt in knowing what is going on because they are smart. And I've been around, I've worked with some of the security agencies. Nigerian security are some of the most intelligent people you can find around. So they know clearly that there are people that are playing games around the system, which is capable of creating unprecedented anarchy. I think, I'm not sure government is aware. There is nothing anybody can do that government will not be aware, unless the government decide to remain aloof It is practically impossible. It's just like in your house, things are going on and you tell me you don't know as a father. Does it make sense? This government have the versatility of personnel across the length and breadth of Nigeria. They have personnel at the court. They have personnel at the National Assembly. They have personnel at every political party. So there's no way the government can claim that they're ignorant of it. Absolutely. Now that what I've been saying over a long period of time, that if Kia is not talking with this level of insecurity that we are going through, it's not likely the election is going to hold. Now, INEC have mentioned it. You can see government officials struggling to defend that all is well, there's no cause for alarm. But there's cause for alarm. In virtually all the zones of the country, you will hardly pick 2-3 states with certainty and suggest that election is going. A lot of things will happen. Number one, he is the head of INEC. He have assured Nigerians that the BVAS system will be worked judiciously. They will not use the BVAS to reach anybody. It will be applied, it will be programmed along the line of conducting election at the polling unit. He have restored confidence into the minds of electorate. He have created possibility of voters' apathy. People are now rushing out to ensure they got their PVC card. People have registered to get their PVC cards. The hope of high number of turnout of voters have increased due to his capacity, his sagacity, trying to explain to Nigeria, this is possible. We can do it through peaceful means. But then, if you minus whatever he have said, and then the executive arm of a government that's supposed to secure an environment for INEC to deploy sensitive materials, INEC cannot deploy sensitive materials. Now, if you take away the man who have the brain, who have designed this, who have supervised all this away, now the possibility of tampering with the BVAS system is extremely very high.
Tampering in what way?
Reconfiguring it and so on and so forth. You know there are allegations.
Whether Mahmoud Yakubu is there or not, BVAS will be used in this election and results will be transmitted.
Well, I don't know how possible it is if the law says that use BVAS system. They left the option to INEC to determine the usage, and INEC have defined it in the entire operations. At the last minute, anybody can bring any policy and try to justify it based on circumstances they would develop. And if you allow it to go this way, I can tell you, knowing this country, being a participant in the democratic development in Nigeria, one madman can wake up one morning and introduce a new system at the eve of election. We are used to having a crash program election in Nigeria. We have never had a comfortable process for a very long time that we are being defined and being followed. We always have crash program. So anyway,
the fire brigade approach.
Yes, fire brigade approach. And this is what they are trying to do. For the fact that the statistics have suggested no party will have it at the first ballot. It is very difficult for even the two parties to give you an accurate statistic that at the first ballot they will win election. Virtually all the parties need some sort of alliance or the other for this election to be successful. Now, those who feel that they are at disadvantage, and the reason for the disadvantage is the BVAS system, will do everything to invest, to disrupt the process. And we felt that we have invested our time, our life, our resources in protecting democracy. And the man that have championed the cause of advancing, decent process of conducting election must be protected. And we are committed to protecting INEC. It's amazing, Amechi, the last meeting we had with the security agencies. The security agencies assured us.
When was this?
I think last month or something, in the office of the Inspector General of Police. All chairmen of parties were invited and other stakeholders. The issues were thoroughly discussed. I also make a very good presentation on that day. And I've highlighted there is no justification as a nation. You have military, you have paramilitary institutions, and we'll sit down and see INEC offices and materials being burned. We can't justify it. You cannot argue. You cannot defend it. We agreed also that there will be joint security operations to be deployed to various INEC offices to ensure that INEC materials are being protected. I haven't seen that, being effectively in operations.
Could it be part of the
recently
plot
INEC
to
offices are being burned.
INEC?
Whatever it is, I cannot explain why the security agencies, based on what they have said publicly, the IG spoke elegantly about the new plan to secure and safeguard INEC offices. The DGSSS spoke extensively. The NSA spoke extensively with a commitment that this will not happen again. But again, within a short period of time, even last month, INEC offices were being bombed.
After those assurances?
After those assurances. And then in River State, for instance, last week, our offices were vandalized at different locations.
Whose offices?
SDP offices were being vandalized.
Party offices?
Yes, party offices.
So apart from INEC offices, party offices
are under perpetual attack. In River State, our offices are under perpetual attack. We have the pictures. I've communicated to the office of the IG documentarily. I have written to the president of Nigeria that this is ongoing. After so much assurance that parties will be assured, will be protected to carry out their campaign. You know, this is uncalled for, it's unheard of, because statutorily they benefit from rigging, from snatching of ballot boxes, from stuffing and from printing, you know, without any challenge. Absolutely. That have been the history. Any innovation that will guarantee the accountability of voters, they will go after it at all costs. That is the truth about it. I've been a founding member of PDP from the G7. And part of what led to the defeat of the PDP is this process of rascality, imposition, not doing the right things the right way, carelessness, and so on and so forth. It was internal revolt that defeated Jonathan. It wasn't Jega that defeated Jonathan. Because PDP are not happy. PDP was abandoned. A different organization was set up to run the party that is called TAN. That led to the defeat of the PDP. And Jonathan was aware. He did nothing about it. He abandoned an institution that's supposed to guide and protect the vote. Now, what you are having today is similar to the period when Jega was in office. But this period is more sophisticated, more dedicated, more committed, more transparent in ensuring that if you cast your vote, that vote is going to count. The only observation I've been making, and I've been calling on INEC to do that, once people have been accredited, the number of people who have been accredited at the polling unit, INEC must announce those people that have been accredited at the polling unit before the commencement of the election. That will further enhance the transparency, sincerity, genuinity of the current INEC chairman. You know, his commitment to ensure there is a transparency. Look, we suffer that in Ekiti State. Everybody knows that Segun Oni won the governorship of Ekiti State.
You say everybody, is it those in SDP?
Well, we in SDP, we believe 100% Segun Oni won the election in Ekiti State. Statistics have suggested that, public opinion has suggested that. But you know, the tribunal summoned INEC to produce the beavers. They couldn't produce them.
That's the report of the
tribunal. Not, there was an order by the tribunal for INEC to produce the beaver machines for inspection and interrogation. They couldn't produce them. So there are issues surrounding the beaver system. They are subject of manipulation. And that is why we are adding our voice, advising INEC that, look, you can go further and ensure that every polling unit accreditation is being announced before the commencement of election. This will take away suspicious and all sorts of issues surrounding the beavers. If people are raising issues, it's genuine, it's germane, because it happened in Ekiti State, it happened in Osun State. So they need to take away any suspicion, because any question mark surrounding the beaver system will ruin the credibility of 2023 election. And I don't think the current INEC chairman will want to go through that history, because history will not be kind to him if the beaver system that we so much marketed, defended, and accepted by international community, at the end of the day, end up ruining the entire process and being used to rig the system. They need to be very careful, very meticulous in dealing with the beaver system, particularly the programming. They must ensure that nothing the beaver said they are going to deploy that have not been used before. The Electoral Act, I think, is very clear. Even if the ballot box is being tampered with, the election of that unit can be cancelled, not to talk of voting beyond the number of people that have been accredited. the law protected that have given INEC the power to cancel that particular polling. Yes, just the way you cited an example. If at the polling unit A, 100 people were accredited, you cannot get a vote beyond 100 people that have been accredited. Once that funny vote, it means that something funny has happened. INEC have the right to cancel that polling unit. And I want to believe that INEC must comply strictly to this process. 2023 election completely is tied to our future as a nation. We must avoid anything that will trigger further crisis. Already, all over the world, elections, if not properly managed, can generate undesired consequences for a nation. Right from the period of restoration of this democracy from 1999 to date, we cannot claim that we are still experimenting. You know, 16 years of PDP, 8 years of APC, you cannot be experimenting. You must have matured in the process.
Years.
Yes, you are solid in dealing with the process, and I believe that is why INEC have developed to this level of ensuring that, you know, primitive way of conducting election is no longer practicable. We are part of the global community. Technology have taken over, is driving a lot of process. Very soon, expectedly, maybe in the next election, people can cast vote at the comfort of their house. Because that's what the technology is all about, electronic.
Accreditation is electronic.
But other processes are manual, based on what we have collected. We are still having a meeting with INEC today, you know, party chairmen and what have you, to discuss further issues. So we resolved collectively, almost 99% of us, that will stand by INEC, a new policy, new innovations. We'll stand by it, we'll protect it at all costs. What I expect the president to do, if the president really wants to live to what he has said, wishing to live a process that is more transparent in terms of elections. One, he must secure virtually every polling unit. He must guarantee Nigerians their life will be safe. I don't know whether the president, going by his history, saying that he will not interfere in the judicial process, and those who want to disrupt the process are going through the judiciary. But I'm happy that the judiciary is living up to expectation. They are not leaving any chance, because they are Nigerians, they are part of the system. Once the system is being disrupted, nobody will be safe. The insecurity is challenging everybody to the doorsteps. The insecurity, the kidnappers have kidnapped judicial officers, parliamentarians, government officials, in the executive, party officials, ordinary citizens have been kidnapped. So the crime level have gone to the doorstep of every Nigerian. So the judicial officers are sensitive of the situation Nigeria is going through. By record, is the most powerful president on earth. By the constitutional powers given to him. The president can do and undo. The president can stop all sort of nonsense, all the gangsters behind all sort of things. We had APC publicly saying that they are averse to the Beaver system. And this is the party's president. We had a few people, you know, issue a nasty statement related to Beaver system. And the president is aware, he's the president of Nigeria. So the president can do more than enough to curtail these excesses, this deliberate attempt to disrupt the process, because it will affect him directly. He will go down in history that during his time, election couldn't hold.